Right, we're live. Good evening. Evening, Mr. Glenn.
Good evening, people, and good evening, Mrs. Max. How are you?
Mrs. Mags.
Mrs. Max. Oh, there we go.
I do
Max
have.
Myths and Legends is live. Manual Tune Spirit Box Experiment and Chat.
Oh, right, we found it on.
I found you. Legends is live. Manual Tune. I can hear myself coming through
Yeah,
here.
because I just opened the page. I've muted it now.
Novel mistake. Novel mistake.
No, I just opened it, and it opens it with it on, doesn't it? So it's.
Yeah, I'm not doing bad, am I? Say I'm not in paranormal anymore, Max. I've been on. This is my second live today.
I know. You're really getting around at the minute. I mean, you're going to get a reputation.
I know. Hello there, Dave. Dorius Lives. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Yeah, you'll be getting a reputation, Glenn.
I know. Terrible.
Look at him, he's here, there, and everywhere. Yes, in the like.
I know. And talking about paranormal as well. So there's a shocker.
I know, doing paranormal when you've been avoiding it like the plague for months.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, hasn't it? Really.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Glenn. I told you I still speak to him most days, Shrimp.
Hello there, Shrimp Shack. How are you?
He's like my big bro. Hi, Beth.
Hi there, Beth. Beth Bits and Pieces. Good evening.
I chose that channel name. I think it's Best Bits and Pieces.
Yeah, what happened to your channel change name? I thought you was changing your name on your
I
channel.
was going to, but I have not now. I might on do live. That's what.
Is that because I made that other one you was going to choose? Sounds silly.
No. I might still do it on D Live because I do a lot more on D Live than I do on here, don't I? Really, with live wise, with what you can do.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, Max, it's your identity, isn't it? And if you're going to change it, then you're coming across a whole set of people that knew you who you were, and then they have to get used to like who you are when you change your channel.
Yeah. Because I haven't really done much. I've done nothing really about names or anything yet, have I? So it is what it is at the minute.
I think you should just leave it as is. I think Max Myths and Legends is pretty good.
Yeah. Glenn is great at annotations. Taught me.
I do try, Mr. Shrink Shack.
Oh, he is very trying. He is very trying.
Yeah.
So I hope you can all hear me all right. I've got a new microphone. It's the first time I've used it tonight. So
Go on, show off. Show 'em how it sounds.
Oh, right, yeah. I can do this on my microphone now. Hold on. Hang on. Hello? Does it sound echoey now?
It sounds pretty good actually like that.
Does it?
Yeah.
All I need now is a bit of reverb on it. I can do a bit of share that. Do you believe?
No, don't. Please don't sing.
We've
had enough rain this winter to last us a lifetime.
Oh, my lad's in. Hello, son.
Hello there, Martin. How are you?
Hi, Gillian. How are you?
Hello, Gillian.
I said you called before, Martin. I didn't choose to ignore it. I didn't, honestly.
She does. She ignores everybody.
I was setting up my stuff to go live, and you're a victim of that. Right. So what we're going to do, we had a little chat about this before. What we're going to do is I'm going to turn the radio on in a minute and just leave it on a low level white noise. And then if any of you want to discuss anything, chuck it in the chat. Me and Glenn will gladly discuss it. We might not know, but we'll give it a go. And then after about 10 minutes, I'm going to, because I have the knob, do 3 sweeps of this. But just to make it a tad harder, we're going to pick a keyword. Glenn, you can pick the first one, then we can ask chat for the next ones, actually. And I'll mention the keyword twice through the 10 minutes that we're talking. And then when I go to do the 3 sweeps, I do have a knob. When we go to do the 3 sweeps on the spirit box, what we will be asking them for is that keyword. Glenn will pick the first one, then we'll ask chat for the next. And they are only getting 3 sweeps of it. So if they want to communicate with us, they have to do it fast, which I'll explain as well when I go to do to the spirits. Obviously I've explained it to you, but I'll explain it to the spirits as well when I go to do it. So, Glenn, what do you want as the first keyword?
Radio.
Radio. Okay. So what I'm going to do? Can you hear that in the background?
Or to make it more specific,
Go on.
Yesu.
Sorry.
The word Yesu.
Yesu.
Yeah, Yesu radio, as in.
Type that in chat. I don't know how you're spelling that.
Hang on.
Yeah, can you hear that just in the back? Oh, gosh, it's disappeared. Right, can you hear that? It's not overtaking my voice or anything, is it? That white noise just in the background in chat. Can somebody just tell me if they can hear it just in the background? Because that's what I'm going to do in between every chat. Yeah, all right, okay. Banana. Yesu. Okay. Right. I'm sure Glenn will jump back in at some point. Yesu. Right. So the keyword will be Yesu. And oh, thanks. It looked better when it had 2 knobs, Jeff, but my granddaughter also liked the radio.
Yeah, sorry about that. I kicked myself out then by accident.
Yeah, I noticed that. Right, so
yeah, the reason I chose the word Yesu, that's the name of this radio here in front of you.
All right, you will were you?
So it's either Yesu or radio. So because Yesu is an unusual word, isn't it?
Yeah, Yesu, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Dave, you wouldn't believe the radios that he's got in that room. He's a bit obsessed. Yeah, so you can hear this white noise, can you, in the background, Glenn? Just low. We can talk over it, fine, and that, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. And yes, Dave, I am a fully qualified ham radio user.
Do you have to be qualified?
Well, you have to pass your license. I've passed all 3 of them. Foundation up to technical.
Right. It's like going back to school to turn a radio on, isn't it?
Oh, Dave's a ham radio as well.
He is, yeah, he did tell me.
Mossad.
In fact, Dave was of the same opinion of some people who use ham radios as you were. You know, like the the ones who think they're upper echelon of society kind of thing.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of pompous prats in amateur radio. Trust me.
Right. So say that word again. It's what?
Yesu.
Yesu. Right.
Yeah, it's spelled Yaesu. Yesu.
Yeah. He did actually put it in Yesu. Yesu. Right.
Yeah.
So that's what, when we do this. Hi, Miss Monty. Long time no see. I hope you're all right. When I do the 3 sweeps, that's the word we will be looking for. So, Yesu. I kind of like the sound of that word. It's sort of Yesu.
Yeah, I have done Morse quite a few times. I do use carrier wave quite a bit, but I'm not very good at it, if I'm being honest. I can probably do about 30 words a minute if I'm on pace. But other than that, it's not. I normally like to do the contacting on the when the propagation's running.
Right. Yeah, no, I've never learned. My dad could do Morse code because he was did the radios in the army. So
Yeah, of course, yeah.
that's what he did on his national service.
Well, I think in
So
certain people, like especially if they into like telecommunications in the army, I think it's a must that they have to do Morse anyway, statutory. So
yeah. Now I'd be stuck if they ever stuck me in a dungeon somewhere and I needed to communicate. Literally, the extent of my thing would be not once for yes and twice for no.
yeah, yeah, that's good enough for contact. Hello
That
there,
would
Miss Monty.
be 3 for I don't know. I don't. So before we came live, we were actually talking about UFOs, and that's not my topic and my area of expertise or anything. But Glenn, tell them your story about them lights that got in the paper.
Yeah, so my first YouTube channel got hacked quite some years ago now. And the first video I actually uploaded on the channel here that I'm on now was actually a UFO that I caught on camera. I've actually got the old incident on a card, on a memory card, and it's about 8.5 minutes long. So me and my friend was on my back garden, was actually watching it for quite some time. And it was blue, like brilliant blue. And when it was flashing, but when it was alternating, so when all the lights went off on it, you could actually see its form. So, and it was kind of like a elongated bell, and it was moving quite rapidly, like in the locale. So anyway, from there, I put it on my channel, and somebody emailed me from the Nottingham Evening Post, and they asked me to do a phone interview with them about the incident. And from there, the following week, it was in all the national newspapers and my local papers and sub papers. It was in.
Yeah,
Pardon?
got into the Sunday tabloids, didn't you, love?
Yeah, as then I think it was the news of the world. It got into the news of the world, and it was like just a rinse and repeat of the same telephone interview that I had with the Nottingham Evening Post, and it's all like registered there. I actually also contacted Buffon, Birmingham UFO, a guy there. I don't know if anybody knows, but on TV there used to be, and I don't know if there still is a program running called richplanet.net, Rich Planet TV, hosted by Richard D. Hall, who's into like conspiracies and UFOs and stuff like that. And on his TV show, he used to actually have a guy that used to cover UFOs, and I actually got in contact with him and sent him a copy of what I had on my memory card, and he actually had it all analysed and stabilised, obviously to like get a better look at it. And it was actually mentioned in the Buffon on the Buffon website, so it's all up there anyway.
Right.
Interesting.
Nice. I know I've never really, like I said, just that, like I said to you, those 2 blue lines are about the subtotal of anything I've seen, and I'm not even sure they were attached to something. I just didn't hear anything. You know, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything that I could see or hear, apart from these 2 lights moving and changing direction and that. Yeah. Oh, squash, please. Bless. No, I'm not up on UFOs at all. I do find them in fact I find it all interesting. I just always want to put a yet at the end. You know, they're not identified yet. You
Do you think they are aliens, or do you think there's another explanation for these? Well, these UFOs, lights in the sky, whatever.
well, I don't know. They wouldn't be unidentified if I knew, would they? No,
Well,
but
no.
seriously, I think
Do you think they're aliens, Max?
no.
No.
I think they're either something that's either man-made or naturally occurring in nature that doesn't have a designation yet. But then again, I haven't looked into these things enough to really have a solid opinion on them. But as it stands now, I would probably go with a lot of government stuff because I mean, it's the government. It's the government.
Yeah. Well, they always say that we're 50 years behind the government where technology is concerned.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. It really wouldn't. Right, so say the key word again. It's been about 10 minutes, has it?
Yeah, it's Yesu radio.
Right. Okay. So tell me if this is too loud when I turn it up. Are you going to be able to hear that when I sweep? Hang on. Let's do it. Can you hear that? Okay, sweeping like that.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me. I don't know about those in chat, but it sounds good to me.
Neil said he has seen one when he was younger with his dad. He was in Babington. Oh, right. Right. Reports from ancient times all around the world, but that still doesn't mean they're not naturally occurring and just are rare. Anyway, perfect to me, thanks. Okay, spirits, I know you can count, so you're going to get 3 turns of this. So you go 1 sweep of the radio. Say the word again, Glenn. Yes, because
Yesu radio.
Right, I want you to say, spirits, if you can, if you try really hard to say Yesu.
Oh, wow, that actually did sound like it said Yesu then.
It sounded like it said Yesu, it did. Hang on, I've got another go. There.
£1,000.
Right, I thought it said it twice in there.
I heard it clearly once, and it definitely sounded like the word Yesu.
On the start of the third. On the start of the third sweep, I thought... on the second sweep, I thought I heard it, and then at the start of the third sweep, I thought I heard it again.
I wouldn't like to say, although, I'm always one
It sounded like it, but isn't that the game?
Back. Yeah, I wouldn't. I never second guess things, Mike. So hearing it on the second sweep, it most definitely said the word Yesu, quite loud and distinguished as well.
Yeah, Dave thinks he heard it as well. Okay, chat, your time to shine. First keyword that I see in there. If you're going to type it quick. I want a keyword. Please. Yeah, so that's not too loud, that white noise. Like I said, I'm going to leave that going because, they like to say about white noise, don't they? So I heard it was clearly, Dave said. So that's also good. It was a lot prettier with both knobs on, shrimp, but my granddaughter took a fancy to the radio. I am not doing that. Oh, we're at piano. Piano's okay, Martin. Behave yourself. I don't know where he gets it from. I just really don't.
Probably his
Okay.
mother.
You're too late, piano. We'll do. I can't even say that. Peninsula, is it? Peninsula.
Peninsula.
Dyslexic back here. Peninsula next time. Right. So this one is going to be piano. Right. Another topic of conversation. What should we do now? We did UFOs. What about haunted places? You've done a lot of investigating. And I know how many places, it's a very small amount to the amount you've investigated, and I do know, but for those of us listening, of all the places you've investigated, where was it that you think you got activity or activity that made you stop and think there was something?
I think the best evidence to suggest spirit would be Eastwood House in Nottingham.
Eastwood
House? Yeah.
Evening, Anne-Marie. Thank you for popping in. You were on Dave's last night, weren't you? Thank you. I appreciate it.
There's things that I've like experienced there more so than I have anywhere else. As far as like saying it's haunted, there's definitely something occurring there. I've had verification like on EVPs of names of people that lived in that property, and I've also got recordings with what I perceived to be a lady walking across the floor, which was carpeted and sounded like wood, and coming up the stairs, and actually right past the front of me as I sat on the stairs, because the staircase in that property is actually quite wide. It's probably twice as wide as a normal staircase. And I sat on one end recording, and also had a vibration sensor going. And as each tap of the foot came down, the vibration sensor reacted instantaneously with every footfall. And you could hear to the point, like the lady's long gown dress that she had on, and it even sounded like it was made of silk.
You could hear it like dragging across the floor. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was actually talking at the same time to a gentleman called Tom, who was talking back. So that was like an active conversation more so than like I would say an EVP session. So in real time, you couldn't hear anything, but the recorder did pick it up. But I wouldn't say it was an EVP. I think it may have been like a recording of something that's residual.
Right. So more stone tape.
Yeah, because that has actually been repeated a few times, but not always at the same time. So you've got the house is actually quite heavily carpeted.
Right.
So for the footfalls to come down and sound like they're walking on wood, it's very interesting. I've experienced that a few times in that property.
So you think you've caught a snippet of conversation from the past? It's basically
yeah. I think that's what it was, because it's repetitive. It's not like it's an intelligent haunting where you have like interaction, because it's been recorded on numerous occasions, like virtually the same thing. Sometimes stronger, and sometimes like a weaker recording, but always the same recording. So it's definitely residual.
I've had that on the radio. I think you have as well, though, haven't you? When we've done spirit boxes, when it seems like they're having a conversation because they're sort of answering each other, and I have had that on a spirit box when I've been doing it. And where else have you been that year?
Frumpton Manor.
How many investigations you've done around?
I've done over 600.
And how long do you keep them open for? Your cases?
They never close. Doesn't matter where I've ever investigated. It's always left as an open book, because See, many people go to a location once, never go back again. Whereas if you get good evidence, it's always worth going back again and again, because accumulative evidence over time adds to better evidence overall.
Yeah.
So I never close like the book on any investigation I've ever done. I always leave it open. And some investigations I've been going back to for 20, 25 years.
Right. And
And
has the
still
evidence
get,
changed over that 20, 25 years? Have different things occurred or happened?
yeah, I've seen, mists, what would be perceived as a true orb, not dust. Um, Orbs also that interact, have intelligence. So, where you can like guide an orb, tell it to do something and it will do it, or pass through a wall and it'll pass through a wall and emit from the other side. EVP recordings. I don't tend too much to rely on things like a spirit box.
No.
It's more like hands-on and old school investigating, using techniques, that are tried and tested over the years.
Hmm. Yeah, which I mean, if you go old school, it's easy to debunk, really, isn't it? The more you can take technology out of it to a degree, the
Yeah,
easier it is to.
what a lot of people tend to do is, I've mentioned this many times before, where they'll buy, a £500-600 recorder, and they will justify the evidence they get because they spent more money on equipment. Well, collating paranormal evidence doesn't work that way. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it regardless of, how much the recorder costs.
Mhm.
So what people tend to do is justify the evidence they get with the equipment they use, and the majority of investigators don't actually know, what the parameters are or the full extent and in understanding of what the equipment they use does, i.e., the SLS camera.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
The thing is, though, I think people tend to think that everything's to gather evidence when a lot of the time it can be used to debunk other things.
Well,
Like the
the
EMF.
first, yeah, the first thing a paranormal investigator should do is debunk everything anyway.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, there's far too many people that just
That.
jump in. There's far too many people just jump in and they hear a knock and it's a ghost. They hear something strange, and it's a demon, and it's like, no, just you've got to, be real about things.
I want to go. I hear you knocking.
But you can come in.
It's so funny. But I think that's the way to go. If you're actually looking for the truth, it doesn't matter if you debunk things, because you're going to either get evidence or you're not. They either want to talk to you or they don't. They either want to communicate or they don't.
That's very true. Yeah, I've been to many places, and I've had absolutely nothing. Some of these places have got, what people would say is like a good reputation for strange things happening. I've been to places like that and I've seen and heard nothing.
Yeah.
Never felt or experienced anything.
You see, I don't know, the spirits that are here, they like to use the radio. And I have done EVPs for hours and hours and hours, over months and months. Not a one, never a one. Although I have caught EVPs while I've been doing a spirit box session, when I've been recording a spirit box session.
Yeah.
Hasn't happened often. It does, Jeff, gives you more credibility if you debunk things. What about you work and you can't run away? Yeah, best. I've heard full conversations. Yeah, it gets creepy sometimes, doesn't it? I've had them stand at the side of my bed and start having a conversation, and I've had to wake up and tell them to pig off. Tell you, right, we're about 10 minutes. I'm trying to keep a clock on the time here while we're doing it. So the key word we're looking for this time is piano. So let's give it a go. Spirits, if you could do us a favour and try to say piano, like we think you said the last word. And remember, you're only getting, turn that up, you're only getting 3 sweeps. So you need to get it in quickly. So if you could please, Spirits.
Aspirin.
Oh, wow, said Astroth then.
Remember, try really hard piano. There. Do you hear that male voice? Piano. Right, there we go. So let's get it back in a bit of white noise so I can turn this down and leave it running.
Yeah, it weren't as many with it weren't as forthcoming with as many words on that.
No, I do think I heard a male voice, quite a grumpy male voice, go piano like that.
Yeah, well, unless I specifically hear it extremely clearly, I decline to comment. But obviously, on review, if it's there, it's there.
I'm here and not listening to it through a camera. I mean, sounded like piano, but that's the best we can say at this stage. But it did sound to me like it was a male voice, and it went piano like that.
Yeah, I did hear the voice you're mentioning now, but I without actually reviewing back, I couldn't say either way.
Yeah. So what was it Dave give us? Peninsula.
Yeah. Good film, by the way, Peninsula. It's a good film.
Yeah. That'll be a hard one for them to wrap the airwaves around. To wrap the airwaves around.
Well, it's like you wouldn't have thought they'd have been able to have said Yesu, but you know, from what I heard, they definitely said the word.
Mm. Yeah. You see people go to the other side to hang around for a bit after. Yeah. Do you know, that's like a topic that always fascinates me, why some stay and why some go. I must admit. It's because, do they go? Or are they allowed to come back? You know, all these things are interesting to me. You know, because good if it comes out though. Yeah, it would be good. It will be good if Peninsula comes out there. It really will.
Well,
that'll be like.
Generally, it's normally an accumulation of separate audio fragments that build a word like Peninsula, with it having more than one. Yeah.
Sorry.
More than one syllable. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just turning the sound up on my TV a little bit quiet. Yeah, definitely. Welcome to the Blue Club, Dave. Oh yeah, I made him a mod. Yeah, I do wonder though. Dave had Night Stalker Paranormal as it investigators, Dave, on his channel last night. We're doing an interview with them, and he seemed to do a lot of graveyards. Now, I'm not sure about the graveyards, to be honest with you. It's not somewhere I want to hang out when I'm dead. I'm hoping I get a choice in the matter, you know, but we don't know. So, if you had the choice when you're dead, what are you going to do?
Who, me?
Well, yes.
Party, party, party.
Where would you go?
Well, I believe when we pass away, we enter a state of consciousness, and I think the consciousness that connects us all is all connected throughout, space and time.
Yeah,
So I believe that when we pass on, we become, a consciousness. So, like sitting here now talking to you, I can imagine to be doing anything or going anywhere just by thinking and drawing that from my consciousness. So
yeah,
I'd just be interesting to know. So, okay, what I'm trying to say is, in my mind's eye now, I can be climbing the north face of the Eiger, or
right.
the north wall of Mount Everest, or traveling in, some type of, ship to another planet. In your mind's eye, you can literally imagine anything, and we draw that from our
Yeah,
consciousness. So I would like to, one thing I would like to know if I was to pass away, or want to do if I pass away, is to experience that, because now you're free from like the anchor that keeps us to this plane of existence, such as our bodies. I would
yeah,
want to know, with the consciousness being free, are those things? Are we capable of doing those things? If and when we choose to, just by thinking of those thoughts, to do those, you know, things such as climbing, a mountain, or traveling
mm,
here or there. The consciousness is a really powerful thing. It doesn't matter, what it is that your brain can think up. You can literally visualize it right in front of your eyes as we're talking right now. In your mind's eye, you can see, visualize almost anything that you can imagine. And, that's all drawn from that conscious collective that connects us all. So, yeah, I think if I passed away, I would be very interested to experience if we can do all those sorts of things.
well, I think a lot of people do believe that some spirits are tied to a location, and others do believe that some can be, go where because go where they feel or want. Um, I mean, like I said with you about with our Chloe with the spirits from our Martin's house who was on before. There was a little girl. She believes that's what's gone to her house now. Um,
Yeah.
because she's seen her at Martin's, and then Chloe's seen her at her house. So if some spirits can move and some are grounded, what would you think would be a reason for them being grounded?
I think it's personal choice from probably the spirit.
Hmm.
Again, that's the thing about, if spirit, as we perceive it to be, is a consciousness, in the blink of an eye, you can be climbing up the north face of the Eiger, and in the next
Hmm.
split second, you can be visiting a family friend. Whatever you think about happens on an instantaneous level.
I don't
So,
know, but I'm kind of getting the impression your afterlife's going to be very athletic. You keep going on about climbing. I'm hoping my
yeah,
afterlife's not as athletic as
yeah.
that.
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying, that's an example, of what a consciousness is capable of doing in the blink of an eye. We can think of all sorts of instances, um, that we can do if it was in that situation. So I think if we are connected to living souls from the other side, I think if
Hmm.
they call upon us and we can hear that or recognize that or pick up on that thought of somebody thinking about us in an instant, and it doesn't matter about distance again, because in our consciousness we can be anywhere or anywhere else in the blink of an eye. So it doesn't, time would seem to be irrelevant, and
Yeah, I don't
distance would seem to be relevant also. So I don't know. these are the questions we'll only ever find out the day we pass away.
I know, but that's the good thing about them is we can discuss them. It doesn't mean
Well, yeah, everything else is
adhere to that rhetoric. It
yeah,
just means
everything
that,
else. It's just speculation, isn't it?
of course, it is.
Of what we
But
perceive the paranormal to be.
yeah, what if the spirit is happy being with that person and feels safe? Would you consider getting rid of it? No. Listen, my house, there's like a boy, a woman in a wedding dress, and a black shadow figure man thing. I've also seen other weird stuff, but they're not doing any harm. They're not like, they might annoy me at 5 o'clock in the morning, stay walking occasionally, or waking me up occasionally, but they're not doing anything that would make me fear or scared. So no. And let's be honest with you, my house it's a land that's haunted here, not the house, because the house was newly built when I moved into it. I'm the first person ever to live in this house, so it's definitely the land and not the home. So they were here before I were. They're not doing any harm. I'm not going to be a bag and try to get rid of them.
Yeah, Beth makes a good point there. To be honest with you, because you get so many people that do investigations into places where people say that they get activity, and if people go to that place and they basically investigate it, and then for whatever reasons they will say, well, you need like a cleansing done to get rid of like so-called spirit. How do we know that that spirit is quite happily being in that location? Why would you want to cleanse, a property or a piece of land just on the whim of thinking that the spirit shouldn't be there and it should move on? Again, I think, in spirit form, I think if they choose to be somewhere, it's by their own, it's up to them if they want to hang around or stay with somebody that they want to love when they was alive. Why on earth would you just want to get the holy water out of the sage and start banishing, without a shred of evidence to suggest that whatever activity is happening there by supposed spirit, that they want to be moved on. They may be quite be happy. They might be happy as Larry, just being in that location amongst people that they lived in life.
It could be. I am on that land from the Battle of Preston. Right, so we're going to do this again now. So, because Dave gave us an easy word, peninsula. So let's go for peninsula, please, spirits. If you could try really hard, I know it's going to be a hard word for you to say, and remember, you've only got 3 sweep spirits, so you need to be in quick. If you could say the word peninsula for us, that'd be great.
Hold it. Yes. How did it? Will and
No, I didn't hear that. I heard something that was quite quiet that sounded like it right near the end.
No,
But
I didn't hear it at all. But
yeah.
I did hear very clearly my name said very clearly.
Did you?
Yeah.
I must admit, I was actually. Oh right, Dave said he heard the word land twice, which obviously is quite connected. But yeah, no, I didn't hear. I was listening for peninsula, so I'm not. I didn't hear the word Glen. Right, and Marie heard land as well.
Well, one thing that we do know is these voices that come through on the spirit box, they do substitute, words. So peninsula is obviously, a land mass, a peninsula,
Yeah.
or where it, so saying land may be easier for them to say, but then again, that's kind of like bordering on second guessing.
Yeah.
I think from my experience, I think if they really do need to say a word, then they will just say it regardless. As in, like, if you can remember the peace haven that Zara got,
Yeah.
such a difficult word that you'd never think could come over on a German radio, yet they very clearly said the word peace haven. So I think even saying the word peninsula, if they really wanted to, they could. But again, if the audio fragments aren't there for them to pick up on, maybe land would be a better option for them. As in, if you're looking for a direct answer of yes or no, you will maybe a word such as negative or positive, or similar words that mean the same thing. So yeah, it's quite plausible that they did use the word land, but again, I also think it's quite plausible that they could quite have easily have said the word peninsula.
Okay, best pick the next word again. Legend. So yeah, that could be quite interesting. They might just go Mags.
Yeah, they might do as well.
So yeah, for everybody, that's going to be the next keyword. It's legend.
Legend.
Right, and mine and actually, considering that me and Glenn are good friends, our belief systems don't always mesh, do they?
No, it's always good to disagree, though.
I think people, because like they always see me and you around and that, and that we're friends. And I think they'd find it quite funny if they realise how different we are in a lot of our beliefs. It's quite strange. You see, you do believe that there is a demonic, or could be a demonic presence in or that a demonic presence could be around people, or there is such a thing as demons.
No, I wouldn't say that I believe in demons or even that they exist, but I would say that it's odd that like demonic names are mentioned, as in Baal, Astaroth, and Beelzebub.
I've had Beelzebub.
Yeah, and you can ask for those names on key with the spirit box and get them straight away anyway. And not only that, they're actually pretty forthcoming coming through. So what I would say was, regardless of like my own personal beliefs, I would say that for whatever reason, these demonic type names and dark entities do manifest themselves like on say like spirit boxes, or whatever we record, or things like that. They do manifest themselves in that form of showing ourselves that is it proof that they exist? I don't know. Again, we don't know anything really when it comes down to it. It's all supposition. We just don't know. We just really don't know. But there is an element of whatever these darker entities or these darker forces are. It is there, but equally as well are like the good things, such as like angelic beings of light, or just general spirits of the dead, or just general spirits as a whole. It's kind of like 50-50, I think. But when we get the darker stuff come through, I think a lot more people focus on that more.
Hi, Claire. And now, you see, whereas I believe that we don't need to go the demon route for evil. Evil exists. No. I mean, look at the serial killers that we've had in this world. They're evil. That's evil. I believe evil exists. I just don't believe it's a demonic evil. But then again, I'm not religious, so I don't do angels either. but I also believe there's some really good people out there, you know, saint like, if you will, you know. So I don't think we need to go to religion to find people who are angelic like or demon like. I think we actually have that on the mortal realm anyway.
Yeah, of course we do. Yeah, there's good and they always say there's good and bad in all. And I think it's I just think it's more noticeable by people out there in the field that tend to sway more towards things being more evil or demonic because it works for them. It's more scary. They get more likes or subscribers or whatever from it. Hi there, Claire. By the way.
Exactly, Shrim. Evil does walk among us. It just happens to be mortal. In my view.
You see, that's the thing in this day and age as well, Max. People are more incensed to recognise the bad things and the evil things in the world than they are the good that happens, in the world.
Yeah, and that's a shame, really, isn't it? And that's what gives negative people power because, a lot of people who suffer with, some form of either, sociopaths or, things like that, they thrive off that kind of thing, It's like, oh, look, they're looking for me, or oh, look, they want, trying to find me, I bet you I can do this and gold them. And, psychopaths are also the type of people who get off on it, It's a strange one. I mean, obviously, David knows more about that in chat but they do. I mean, they taunt people who are trying to catch them, don't they? I mean, look at the BTK killer. He used to write letters, didn't he, to them? So did the Zodiac killer. He wrote letters as well, taunting. Mind you, he did get away with it, didn't he? The Zodiac killer.
Yeah, they never actually found out who that was, did they?
No, never caught him. There is actually a picture going around because somebody did a sketch back in the day, and they have kind of, or they do believe it was a certain person, but they never got him. They could never,
Yeah, Shrimp Shack. They always do say that the eyes are the windows of the soul. So there is that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Short guys. Mind you, if you ever looked at me when I woke up first thing in the morning, you'd think I was totally evil. I am not a morning person. We did I say we Well, I am Lancashire. I'm sorry, I am.
Away with it, Max. Away with it.
Aye,
away with it.
Yeah, you see, religion ruins the paranormal for me. I've got to say. No, and I actually don't mean it in a bad way. I believe if you take religion out of the paranormal, it's easier to investigate with logic than with religion.
Yeah, I would say you've got to keep more of an open mind, across the board. So
yeah,
I think if you make the paranormal about one subject or another subject, already you're at a disadvantage. You have to remain impartial, on the fence, as a skeptic all the way through. It doesn't matter what's involved or what connotations they are.
Beliefs, and this is what I actually think. The beliefs of the person investigating shouldn't actually go into their investigation. So you can be religious as much as you like, whatever religion you choose to adhere to, be that. But don't imprint it on an investigation where you're looking for the truth. I'm not saying religion's false or anything like that. I mean, everybody's entitled to the comfort that they can get from religion if they believe in it. I used to draw comfort from religion. So, that's fine. But don't bring it into an investigation where you should be impartial.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that exact word. You have to remain impartial.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in a lot of things. I try not to to bring it into when I'm doing a spirit box session, or even when I'm talking to the spirits just here, because my views, it's not about me, it's about the spirits, you know. so my beliefs don't actually really matter. It should be about them, and if they want to communicate and talk, you know.
Yeah, it's about the perception of unbiased evidence.
Yeah, yeah. I
That,
mean,
you
we
know,
should all be
that's
open to the
presented.
paranormal. I mean, being open to the paranormal isn't a bad thing, but do it with a healthy dose of skepticism, where you're not believing everything you hear, see, or etc.
Well, yeah, you have to remain rational. You know, you can't.
Yeah, that's the
You
word.
can't sway. Yeah, you can't sway bias either way, for or against. You've just got to keep an open mind and look at it for what it is. If you've got
Yeah.
no explanation for it, it's exactly that. There's no explanation. You know, but
No.
far too many people, Max, just jump on the bandwagon that it's a devil or it's a demon or it's an angel or it's a ghost or a spirit, you know, or it's, you know, whatever, you know, entities popular at the time. You know, it's, you know, people, you know, that are in the field, they are swayed heavily by, you know, the route that they want to go down.
Yeah, I mean, the name of my channel.
For personal reasons, you know, they do that.
I mean, the name of my channel should make people understand that I actually read and look into a lot of different strange and unusual things, you know. And I'm open to them. I do think most of them are just stories, but that's, you know, for me, you know, to believe. That doesn't mean that other people can't believe there's more to it. You know, it's
Yeah,
can you remember? Jesus God, how long ago were it? We're about 2 years ago, and I did that spirit box session on the gin.
Yeah.
And I got because obviously, if for people who don't know the gin, you know, it's let's rub a lamp. Sorry. The jinn actually were created before man, allegedly. So they walked the earth before man walked the earth. I'm right there, aren't I? It's a while since I did it. And then God created man. So this is the legend, you know, or how it's told. So then God created man, and the jinn withdrew from this plane to a different one. Am I right there so far?
Yeah. The jinn were God's first. The jinn was God's first
Prodigy.
prodigy, so to speak. Yeah. And they were born from smokeless fire.
Smoke and fire.
So it is said. And then
Yeah.
obviously God created man, his second incarnation, in his own image. And the jinn were kind of like a little bit pissed or jealous of that, so they say. Yeah. And they because they were interdimensional beings anyway, they all shifted to, you know, maybe like the fourth dimension. I don't know. You know, nobody knows. It's just, you know, what is, you know, believed from the Quran. But so, you know,
that's the word I was looking for, Quran.
Yeah. So the jinn was here first, and because God loved man so much in his own image, it not only caused the jinn to move to another dimension, it also caused a war in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously that was the story of, you know, Satan, Lucifer, the morning star, as in the devil, being created and thrown into the bowels of hell. When the battle was, yeah.
Now, why I mentioned when you went Quran, because can you remember when I did the spirit box session? It's heavily laced in the Quran about the jinn. It's a story told in the Quran. So with the Islamic faith, it's quite relevant. So when I did a spirit box session, I actually got the word jinn, and I also got Quran, which I thought at the time was crazy because, you know, I mean, I think I've listened to the radio and done spirit box sessions for 3 years more, you know, and I got the word, and I've never heard the word Quran. I do a spirit box session specifically about the jinn. I got smoke, I got fire, I got the word jinn, and I got the Quran. And I've never had the word Quran on my spirit box session ever that I could remember in the past. You know, and it was when I was actually focusing on that subject that I got it. So things like that are worth looking at, you know.
Yeah, again, it's that bias of and sway of evidence to suggest that whatever these voices are, you know, are they intelligent enough to recognise what we're saying? You know, I always say to people, you know, especially those that I won't say I'm trying to convince that the spirit box is a valid tool for like paranormal investigation. What I try to say to people is, you know, the radio is a receiver, and it is capable of receiving, you know, many frequencies. So there's that.
So what would you class our brains as?
Well, your brain is a transmitter, isn't it?
There you go.
And a receiver.
So if they still have their awareness of self, to class them as being able to transmit to a radio or to any other device isn't far-fetched if you believe that, you know, because, you know, I'd say we are a transmitter. So to believe after we die, our energies, our consciousness can still transmit, to think that they can communicate with any, you know, using a voice recorder or other devices or a spirit box, isn't that far-fetched when you think about it like that, is it?
Yeah, you see, my research in Spirit Box number 2 explains this in quite intricate detail of how, you know, that communication is, where it originates from, how it's made, how it's produced, from both sides, from the perspective of us being like people that ask the questions and the radio being a receiver, you know, and if the radio was a receiver, it used to say what is listening to that reception, and again, are those voices that come back to us of intelligent design? First and foremost, for the spirit box, that is what people should be trying to prove. Are these voices we listen to, are they intelligent? And then have evidence to suggest that they are intelligent, and then move on to, well, are they spirit? Are they jinn? Are they something else? Are they aliens? They could be anything, you know. But to jump straight to the point that these voices that come back to us on a radio that do give us extremely intelligent replies at times, are they? Is it some other type of consciousness, you know, that we're connected to? Does it transcend dimensions? Does it, you know, does it transcend space and time? You know, again, the radio is a receiver as well as a transmitter, because it also transmits, you know, the frequencies, you know, into the stations that we listen to. The same for us brains, that you know, the old saying, as we know, is like energy flows where attention goes. So right, so what many people don't know or understand is that the brain can pulse out at 10 to 100 cycles per second an energy wave of thought. You know, this is, it's not speculation, it's actually fact.
That's
you know,
good. Have you not got them up on your channel?
Scientists have discovered this. Yeah, it's research in the Spirit Box, number 2.
What was that one? Researching the spirit box, RTC manipulation of audio fragments. It's not that one, is it?
Say that again, Mike.
That one's. I was going to put it in chat so people could look. Researching the spirit box, RTC manipulation of the audio fragments.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Is that the one? Right. Okay. I'm going to stick it in chat so people can.
Right, and there's another one there as well, Max, which is the how the cycle works on the spirit box. Propagation of electromagnetic energy or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've actually even had a look at my own channel.
It's called what?
propagation of electromagnetic waves. It actually explains how the cycle works that comes to us, on the spirit box. When the cycle runs high, you get better spirit communication. But I think the one you're talking about is the second one, the manipulation of audio fragments. There's some very good explanations in that into how we get these voices, and these voices come back to us.
I can't see the other one, to be honest.
If anyone's got like the time to actually take notice and actually listen to what I'm saying in that video, it's extremely plausible that is today, in my view, like the best explanation as to like what's happening with the spirit box. I've never heard, seen, or come across anybody else in the ITC field that explains it in the way I have done. They're too busy making money on selling crappy spirit boxes.
Right, okay.
They just don't work.
This is the other one. That's your other one. The other research in the spirit box one.
Yeah. I'm actually on number 9, Max, but I refuse to put them up.
That's the cycle. That's about the cycle. The second one's the cycle. The first one's audio fragments.
Yeah.
So they are. If anybody gets a chance to watch them because they are very informative about the spirit box, and they are explained in a way that you'll understand. So
it's extremely difficult to put that subject into words so people can understand.
Yeah. All right, we're well past doing this. So let's do legend, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So Spirit, if you can try to say the word legend, I'd be grateful. Try really hard. No, I didn't hear it there.
No, I didn't.
No. I mean, I'll go over it, but I didn't hear it. Right, we'll do one more. We'll have 10 more minutes chat and do one more. So give somebody put in chat a keyword, please. Sorry, Glenn.
I think what you should do is say, take 3 words from the chat now. So those in chat can put 3 words in, and then address them one at a time and give each word on the subjects that we've been talking about this evening. Pick a word, any word, and then just put 3 words in the chat, and then individually go through them one at a time and give each word like a 3 swing span on the radio. See if that brings anything up.
Okay. Fire up that wireless. Okay. So I'm going to pick the first one, and I'm going to pick aliens, because we did propose earlier. So aliens.
Okay, while you're sorting that out, Mags, I'm just going to nip for 1 minute, and I'll be back.
Okay. So 2 words. First 2, but only about what we spoke about tonight. So pick 2 words. I'm going to have aliens. So somebody have, something else about what we spoke about. Come on, don't make us pick them, please. Faith, right? So aliens, faith, and give us another one. Anybody stick it in. Devil. Okay, so aliens, faith, and devil. That's what we're going to go with. I'm going to put that in a bar across the bottom, otherwise I'll forget. Just bear with me. Right. There you go. Oh, there. Should come up now. Right, so I've just put it in. No, I want it as a ticker. How do I do that? Don't know. Right, so I'll just leave it there as like a chat thing. I can always go back to it. Aliens face devil. There you go. So we know that the words that we want.
Have you started yet?
Not yet. I've just picked. I just figured we could check for a bit. Aliens face devil. They're the 3 words.
Right, okay.
That we'll be looking for when we do it. Yeah, you and Dave both think you heard the radio name, which I've totally forgot again.
Yesu.
Yesu. I think I might have heard it, but I'm not sure. What was the second word we did? Not
Peninsula.
No, the one before that. Best put it in. It began with a P though as well.
I thought. Oh, it was. Yeah, go on, Beth.
Yeah. Apparently, me and Glenn being old, our brains aren't working probably.
We're having brain farts this evening.
We're having a moment.
Yeah, Dave, take a listen. You know, I find my explanations quite plausible when it comes to the spirit box. I don't see, like I said, I don't see or hear other people try to address what's actually occurring in the same way I do. And I personally think myself, and I'm not egotistical in any way, but I think that my explanations can actually be quite valid when you actually, look at it in the way I do.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned lots.
But again, David, it's just my opinions, and my thoughts on it all.
It was Anna. It was piano.
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 So we've had Yesu, piano, peninsula, legend,
Yeah.
and Yesu.
Yeah. Yesu. Yeah, I think I know we were in Truth Seekers together. This is how I met you and Zara, isn't it? Through Truth Seekers. Yeah. Which was going back now, isn't it? A Google Plus group.
Yeah, I wasn't actually in Truth Seekers for that long, I kept getting.
No.
There was somebody that was a moderator in there that just kept kicking me out, and I addressed it a couple of times, and then the third time it happened, I just gave up.
Yeah.
But with things that have happened since then, I have a good idea who it was. But
yeah, me
that's
too.
a long time ago. Not interested. I don't do drama. So I couldn't care less. I'm not there now, and that's all that matters to me.
Well, that's how we met anyway. Because after Glenn's rant,
yeah,
that's how we met.
Yeah.
And I was lucky that when I was starting off my journey doing a spirit box, or doing, I like to manual tune. I do. They just call me crazy, but I actually do. But that's just me, whatever suits anybody else. But I was quite lucky that I met Glenn in the early stages of my journey down the paranormal, really. I did believe, but I also came into it with a healthy dose of skepticism, didn't I? So I suppose that helped. And you'd actually noticed when I have my SB7 somewhere. you'd notice that I'd put up and I only put them unlisted in Truth Seekers. You know, they were unlisted, but I put them in Truth Seekers because it was early, you know. I'd done a couple of sessions and you actually had seen them and contacted me and we just got talking, didn't we? And Zara was doing the Truth Seeker lives and I was in there and that, so you kind of knew me from that sort of thing. And we just got talking and I was lucky that I actually found somebody with experience in radios and spirit boxes, but also with investigational techniques as well, you know. So I was actually looking and I had years of experience because I think that's why a lot of people, shall we say, go off the rails because they don't have that.
Yeah,
you know,
I think that's right. Yeah,
they have TV shows.
Yeah, people are like crabs in a bucket. They're just trying to clamber over everybody else to get to the top, and everything at the bottom and in between, you know, doesn't matter to them. So they just want to peg that number one spot and climb out of the bucket, be number one. You know, it's
but it's not always just that because they come in doing silly things, and it's because they have ghost TV shows. You know, what's it? Ghost Hunters.
See, this is how silly some of these people are. It's like they do like the YouTube thing, right? And then they think that they're getting all this like notoriety and recognition, you know, and they thrive. They thrive for this TV spot, not actually realizing that all that stuff on the TV is made for television, made for entertainment, and virtually all of it is just fake.
Yeah.
You know, and reputable people who think that they have credibility strive to get into that position. And it's like, why would you want to discredit yourself by going on a television show that is just written for an audience? It's like, I don't get it.
No. And I mean, there is some good ones out there. I mean, I like, oh God, the name's just gone away from me now. The one with, you know, the guy who, Are You Haunted? That's them. I actually quite like them. He's a parapsychologist, isn't he? Do you know what? I go on his lives all the time. And I spot Phil Wyman. Yeah, he's a parapsychologist, and he's got a healthy dose of skepticism, and I actually like his investigations that they do. They're very logical thinking, you know. That's in Phil Wyman. Yeah, they don't think that he doesn't automatically think everything's a ghost or, you know, what have you. So they're quite good to watch because they're quite logical in their thinking, you know. And the whole team is quite good at doing that. Yes, they believe, but they're not a believing for belief's sake, if you will, you know. And they've been doing lives every 2 weeks to, you know, while the pandemic's been on, and they're quite funny to watch the lives that they do. They are really good, you know. They do topics, you know, and they're quite good to watch. So if you haven't subscribed to them, you should subscribe to them because they are quite good. That takes me back. Truth Seekers cleaned out my YouTube channels recently. Still sub to you, my best. Thank you very much. Obviously, you're here. I know I don't do lives often on here, but I do try to make them interesting when I do them. Well, even if I'm just doing a quiz, try to do something a bit interesting. I still can't get over that riddle. Can you remember that riddle and the answer were a dead bird?
Yeah.
Still now. Still, I can't believe the answer to the riddle was a dead bird. Just fine. Right. I've done some riddles in my time. Yeah, he's nice. I quite like that Phil Wyman. His wife's nice too. The whole team seemed to be quite clear thinking, you know. The thing is, though, when you get a TV show, it's not up to you anymore, is it? It's down to the producers and everybody else what goes out, you know. So you actually don't get to do what you really want to do because it's down to them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You're given a script, and you just become a paid actor.
Oh yeah, Mark with his sheep in his car. Or another one.
Your views and what you believe in doesn't matter anymore. You have to adhere to their rhetoric.
Yeah, which is a shame, really, because I think a lot probably did start off honest and truthful and looking for the truth, But once you make it, then it's not under your control anymore, is it? Shall we say? All right, so we'll do aliens first. Let's turn this up. Okay, the same again. I'm going to do it one after each other this time. We've got 3 words. Spirits. The first one's aliens. I'm going to do 3 sweeps. That's wrong way.
John.
Remember, spirits, it's aliens, please.
Exit.
No, I didn't hear that. So we're going to do faith next. We're going to go straight into it. So, spirits, if you could try really hard to say the word faith, I'd appreciate it, please. Right, I think I heard it at the start of that stream, but I don't. At the start of that sweep, I don't know. There. Right, I think I've heard it twice through that, but I don't know. Right, so what's the next one? Devil. Could you try to say the word devil for me, please?
Hang on a minute, Mags. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it, if they now that you're asking for the word devil, it'd be interesting if they say the word kinner.
Oh yeah, it would. Okay. Could you say the word devil for me, please?
Kenny.
Yeah, did you hear it? That was weird. That it did go Kenny. Say the word devil, please. It's evil.
Right.
Say the word devil. Devil. There you go. Right, I'm going to turn this off now because we won't be doing any more of that tonight. But yeah, I heard Kinny and I've heard devil. So yeah.
Wasn't that weird, eh?
You mentioned Kinny. It did actually sing song it. It went Kinny.
Yeah.
Like that. Explain to everybody listening. Me and you know what Kinny is. So just explain. I mean, we've all had it come over our boxes before in our group, haven't we? So if you just explain it.
I might as well just upload the video, actually just put it on public, can't I? Right, so the word kinner. So Zara from Paranormal White Noise was doing a spirit box session. and she was walking around the edge of this field, and this word came forward, spoken very clearly, and the word was Kinney. Over the next like 3 to 4 years, I was researching that word because every time it was mentioned, there was all kinds of like demonic names being said, devils, demons, Beelzebub, so on and so on, and like warnings and basically everything, you know, derogative and negative about like bad spirits. So when, I noticed very quickly that when people would ask questions or ask, who the devil was and things like that, this word Kinney came up. I've done a video on it. Again, I've no explanation for it, but it does seem that, like the spirit box, because I've got like over 100 words on a list of words that are said on the spirit box. I've got no explanation, or So I was looking at like dictionary text from all over the world in many different languages to try and define this word Kinney and its meaning. And I was looking through like the Latin dictionary, one of the early Latin dictionaries, not Roman, it was the English Latin dictionary, and the word Kinney was attributed to demons, imps, and basically devils and that. So it just makes you wonder. Yeah, it just makes you wonder. And then to do the video that I was doing, there was that disembodied voice, by the way, that Zara heard. Was very well. It sounded like it was disembodied, but it did actually come. Well, we think it came from the spirit box, but looking back on it all and researching it over the years, it did take me quite some time to find that connection between like these darker things and even things like attachments and stuff like that. So when I was making that video, the Kinney video, I was asking certain spirit box practitioners if they would ask like what the word Kinney means, and some of the replies that I got back from those people that did those sessions was just absolutely
evil, did it? Evil.
Yeah, the replies that I was getting back were just astonishing. Like just I couldn't believe it, the clarity that some of the replies come back when when these dark entities are mentioned in that, and this word Kinney keeps cropping up. But now definitely know that it's attributed to like dark entities.
If you remember right at the start, I was like thinking, is it talking about me? Because even though I don't use it as a nickname, both my lads use the word Kinney as a nickname derived from our surname. Yeah.
Yeah.
My proper surname and everything. So, and I can remember at the time I was like, do you think it's that? But it wasn't. It was always in a dark connotation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So like that went quickly, and it came over our little circles who associate with it, us, it kept coming across other boxes as well, didn't it? And things like that, which I still find fascinating. It's like Peter likes to jump in on yours when you do a session, and from me, he'll jump in from me to you. He did it on Dave's as well one time, jumped in on there. It's like, it's a shameful hog of the airways, is Pete. He like to get around, bless him. But yeah, I actually didn't hear Peter in there tonight, which I'm really surprised about because I haven't done a session in so long, and I thought he might try to get his nose in.
I think going back over it, you never know what you hear. Like I say, when you ask for a particular word, you just basically concentrating on that. So for anything else to come up, you can easily quite miss it.
It did shout you. It did shout you out,
Yeah, Beth, you want to look at that Kathy Cook, one of the last ones that I put up. Yeah, that is vile. That is like disgusting. What those voices were saying to Kathy.
Oh, these are sometimes they've told me, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to age restrict my channel, but the things they've turned around and said they want to do to me and things like that. But I do, just a funny note was Claire, when she went, if you say the word Beth, you can watch me in the shower. And it went, Beth Angels, because no, Beth Demon, right? Beth Demon, but her name's Beth Angels. So I thought they was taking the P, but it was straight away, direct. Beth was clear as day, but then he went Demons. But I just thought the Mickey because it's Beth Angels, you know. So I just thought they were flipping it and taking the Mickey. But straight away, when Claire said they could watch her in the shower, it went Beth.
Yeah. Well, they could actually. They say the words like devils and demons, thinking that
Yeah.
that's them talking about themselves. People don't realise it. They could actually. That's what they could actually be like calling us and think that what we are.
I do think a big chunk of it, though, is they use words that us as humans either fear or fear respect because we fear it. You know, the words that we don't want to entangle with, the words that we will take notice of, that kind of thing. So because I'm not religious or I believe in that thing, I do think that they use those words to get our attention, to make us listen to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like somebody shouting when it's a really busy place and you need to be heard. If you shout fire, everybody hears the word fire, don't they?
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of that. There's so much going on that they're trying to communicate with. It's hard for them to do it. It's hard to communicate through a spirit box for them, maybe. So they use words that would grab our attention.
Yeah. Again, it's making that connection with us into if the conditions are right as well. Line of convergence is radio on its best optical point for reception.
Yeah.
The cycle, is it high, is it running low? These are all things that do make a difference to like a box session.
We'll have to do this again one night, and I won't leave the radio running in between and putting the white noise out there. So I won't leave it running all the time. And see, I'm going to see, obviously, we'll see what I get from this first, and if we get the words and things like that. You download it and go over it as well, because sometimes we hear different things, which is great, really, in a lot of ways. We don't always have to hear the same things. And if we get some good results, we should do it again where I won't leave the white noise on and turn the radio off after every time I asked for them.
Okay, Beth, I'll be ready. Yeah. Again, though, Mags, are they listening with the radio being a receiver? Are they listening to us from the radio, or are they listening to us
from the environment? I think. I think, like you say, it's a consciousness. I think they're here anyway.
Yeah.
And they're listening. But do they need that extra energy from the white noise of the radio being on all the time, or am I cutting off a power source, turning it off every time instead of leaving it on?
Yeah, that's the way that ITC should be being pushed forward, Max, with experimentation. But it's like I was saying on Steve-O's this morning. People are just more incensed to make money, or they all say that they do research. Well, where is this research?
Yeah.
I don't see it from any of them. I just see them, most of them, just spouting nonsense and look at me, and feed my ego sort of thing. I don't see research. Yeah, in virtually every single video that I put up, there's always explanations in there as to what I believe is happening and how it may be occurring. I give those explanations from researching the spirit box, whereas I don't see other people do that. I just see them, just trying to make out that they're all
translate and put questions in different languages and used a text-to-speech app to ask the questions to see if I'd get replied in English with them. I've tried all sorts.
Well, I think me, you, and Zara's done the majority of those type of experiments. I mean, look at Zara. She, Germany. She goes to Turkey.
Mm.
We were listening to Miletus when she did a spirit box session with a friend over there. And my God, the replies, Mags,
Yeah,
like Zara got in English in a
but she does in Germany.
Turkish speaking country. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like, but one of the sessions I was listening to, I knew it was a good session, but listening back to it, a year or so on, it's like, my God, I
Yeah,
just cannot believe those replies. Just absolutely phenomenal.
it is a really good session. I want to
Especially,
do. Oh,
especially when you're in like a a Turkish speaking country. It's just phenomenal getting those English replies on the radio. That's 99% Turkish.
yeah, it is. It's cool. Best what to do old school. I mean, you can literally do that. Just stick some flour down on your kitchen floor if it's lino.
Yeah, yeah,
Ask,
yeah,
you know, things like that. Most people can download a voice recorder onto the phone, do some EVPs through your phone. You don't need to go and buy a voice recorder. Or, as all these people want to say, an EVP recorder. They're not the voice recorders. Um,
exactly. Yeah,
Download a voice recorder onto your phone and try to do some EVPs. Stick some flour down on your floor and see if you get any marks in it. Leave a pen and paper out and draw around a trigger object. These are just things that are really easy to do. You
yeah.
know,
Use a compass instead of an EMF
yeah,
meter.
yeah. Compasses are brilliant for it. Do
Yeah,
that.
better than the most expensive EMF meters out there. Simple compasses.
Definitely. I was thinking I might do at one point. Um, just get a pan of water, a bowl of water, and cut out an arrow so it'll float on the top out of something that'll float on the top and won't sink, and ask questions using the water and the arrow, and say, can you move the arrow to the right? That's floating on top of the water. Can you move it to the left? And when I ask a question, do you know what I mean? If it's yes, move it to the right. If it's no, move it to the left. Just something
Yeah,
really simple like that. Just
yeah. Well,
basic.
that's just old school methodology. People have had results from it. Some people don't get nothing from it. But it's always worth a try.
A lot of things you can do. It's just household objects that you're going to have in anyway.
Yeah,
Things in your store cupboard. And you can do experiments with them, and learn that way. It's people buy a lot of equipment, which is great if you're out, because you can't probably do a lot of experiments that you do at home when you're out. So having technology is good if you're out investigating. But you can also bring, if you're not in an old manor house that doesn't let you chuck flour down on the floor, but you could actually take it if you're out in somewhere where you can use flour or can use water or things like that. Take them with you as well. Do some
mm,
old school stuff because it's interesting and
mm,
easily debunked. If
yeah,
it's, you know, take technology out of the equation, and it's far easier to analyze and go over the evidence.
yeah. It's like every single person I've asked, how does your SLS camera work? Not a single person can tell me. Oh,
No, I'm
you spend
honest.
between 500 and 1,000 quid on all that equipment, and you're telling me you don't know how it works.
Well, I know it has something to do with mapping, but I mean, if it's mapping edges of walls or patterns in wallpaper, which it does, or
Yeah,
door architraves and things like that, which it does, then
yeah,
you can't use it.
just go to Paranormal White Noise channel, Zara's channel, and just look for the SLS camera video, and
I have watched it. Can't
that
say
will
I remember
tell
it off my
yeah, that
head.
will tell you everything you need to know about the SLS camera. And I guarantee you, by the time you finish reading it and understand exactly how it works, you'll just look at it and think, what a piece of shit.
But you can see it. It's obvious. It's mapping in a door architrave or a dent in the wall, or, you know.
Yeah, it only needs 2 points of reference to build a stick figure from memory.
Yeah.
It's all programmed into it to build stick figures from 2 points.
Can you remember what it's called?
What's
That
that?
video. Sorry.
It's oh, good God.
Oh, the SLS. There you go. That's all right. I
Yeah,
found
you
it.
found it. You found it. Yeah,
Yeah,
extremely good video to watch. In fact, on Zara's channel, she's got a playlist of about 25 videos, all to do with like all sorts of equipment and explanations of everything you can ever imagine about paranormal. It's one of the most comprehensive collections of videos that explains all you need to know about everything paranormal. Absolutely fantastic videos. Very easily like understandable and all and explained.
So SLS, wouldn't they do a mirror image of the person? It's not how they work, is it? The mapping.
Yeah, it just throws out infrared points of light, and then it takes 2 of those points of light, which reflect back to the sensor, and then it inside the SLS camera, it's got a memory of millions and millions of mappings of like people in different positions, and it just takes 2 of those dots of light to create an entire stick figure.
Before we go, tell this. It actually interested me, so that people don't think we're too skeptical, because we do sound quite skeptical, but we're not. We're both actually big believers. Tell them what you were saying about on Steve-O's today with the rose with the flower turning, because that was interesting.
Right, yeah. So when we was on I worked for a short time with a guy called Patrick McNamara. His TV program is normally on Showcase television, and it's called Ghost Circle. So our sat-in seances is one of only 5 registered mediums that's registered by governments in the world today, and is a psychic medium, not to get mistaken with a medium. Psychic medium is something completely different. So in the seances that we used to do with Patrick, we would do something called flower turning. So basically, you've got like a sprig.
Your audio's gone, Glenn. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Right, you're back.
Okay, where did I get up to?
You were just about to explain what you did in the circle with the flower.
Right, so you get a sprig. It's like the stem, like a very thin stem, maybe 1-2 millimeters in width. And you put it between your thumb and forefinger and you squeeze it together so you're holding that sprig, yeah? So at the end of the sprig, obviously, you've got like little seed pods or little tiny flowers or whatever. And it's been dried out, you know. So you just, well, it doesn't have to be dried out, you know. So you just squeeze it between your fingers, your thumb and your forefinger, and you can actually get somebody else to like squeeze those 2 fingers together even more. So there's no way that sprig can come out or move, yeah. And then like the psychic medium, what he'll do is he'll excite like the esoteric energy in the air, and he'll move his hand over the top of it slowly, and that sprig, no matter how much force you're putting on it, that sprig in your fingers, you can't feel it move, but the whole thing will turn around. It's called flower turning. Look it up. Go on YouTube and Google. Go on YouTube and search flower turning ghost circle, and a short video will come up and it will show you him actually doing it. And I've actually taken part in those things in like seances, and it's a true phenomenon. I can't even begin to understand how that flower can turn, but it does turn. It's just really, really weird.
Witnessed a port, haven't you? Things coming in from.
Yeah, yeah. Now the thing about a port coming in, again, in an environment of like a séance, um, it's very dark. You know, the environment is very dark. You know, you've only got two low lights. One is very dimly lit blue, and the
Mm.
other light is very dimly lit red. So once you've been in that environment, sitting there around the séance table for say half an hour, your eyes get acclimatized to the light, so you can literally just barely see each other. The lights, the two lights are that low. Blue and red lights are supposed to be like ideal for esoteric energy to be seen and to form onto things on people, like using transfiguration techniques, and also for manifestation of like seeing spirits or spirit orbs, and also um, mists, or even like trickle sparkles of electricity that are known as spirit lights. Those sort of, a lot of those things I've just mentioned are quite exceptional and do need like low light environment to be either seen or to manifest. So the flower turning technique like completely baffled me. I was absolutely amazed at that. I was also amazed at like seeing transfiguration occur. But it's actually quite a frightening, hideous thing to see as well, because you basically like looking at some like a person in front of you that's got esoteric energy connected to them, and they kind of look like haggard witches with real dark sunken eyes. You can't actually see the eyes, you just see like the space where the eye sockets are, and they're sunken with very thin like cheeks and like
No, I
pointed chins.
think that's the best version of something.
What's that?
I said, you know, when it imprints over the face that you're looking at, does it look like it's a death mask or a dead person or?
No, basically what it is, like, so the lady in that seance that I was in, her name was Diane. She was a blonde-haired lady, around about 40, 50 years old. She
Mm,
had like her hair cut into like a short bob that like rested like cut into her neck. And when Patrick was like welcoming the spirit forward, he said that the room felt highly charged, and could the
right.
spirit manifest on like the lady called Diane. So obviously there's like eight of us around the table, and this you could literally see like this like faint blue, what looked to be like a faint blue mist, and it kind of like covered like Diane's face, and then it started to like morph her look. So she ended up basically looking like a real haggard, like witch. It's nothing to be frightened of. It's just the way that transfiguration occurs. It's literally building the spirit face using esoteric energy onto the person's body. So by the time the transfiguration had virtually completed itself, the spirit hadn't fully formed, because there wasn't like enough
Right.
energy
Okay.
there for it to pull enough esoteric energy out of the air. And that's why she ended up looking, you know, like she was a haggard, like old witch, because you know, there wasn't enough energy there, you know, for the spirit to fully manifest. But most definitely, the hair on Diane's head was curly and like permed and long.
All
So,
right. You actually
so
noticed those kind of details.
yeah, the face changes completely, Max. Like the person, like Diane, actually became unrecognizable. You couldn't see her because the esoteric energy had formed like on her skin. You know, so that's like spirit manifesting on like a person using like the energy, you know, that's that's charged, in the atmosphere of a séance. And
Right.
on another occasion, there was an apport appeared out of what they call a trumpet. It's about 2 feet tall, the trumpet is, and it actually does look like a bugle, like a trumpet, and it sits like on the table. And it's said that if on really good when there's like really good high energy being manifested within a seance and the air is really charged, that reports from spirits can come through. So, something like a piece of jewelry, petals, or like a key or trinket or a chain of some sort that a loved one used to own can pass through that energy and then drop down through the trumpet onto the table. And not only that, even outside of if it's really, really good, strong esoteric energy, you can have like leaves fall or petals fall. I think Barchi experienced that when he was doing like his radio sessions, but
Yeah.
I don't kind of like believe what Barchi were doing, because I don't believe that's how voices come through on the radio. Uh,
I think with how we perceive to do EVP spirit box sessions now, the way he seemed to do them at the time, I think it's quite, I'm not going to say quite easily debunked, because he is kind of the godfather of ITC. I think his way of doing it wouldn't hold water now. Is that a better way to
no,
say it?
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, the godfather of ITC is actually Tesla. He was the first person to ever
Well,
build
Tesla was in there.
a spirit
He also
radio. So
renewable energy that was free, but we didn't get that
yeah,
either.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, it's very. You see, I find that fascinating, because I was talking to Dave the other night, and I always say, oh yeah, I'm a psychic as a concrete block, or what have you. But then again, I see spirits, and he said, I think you kind of feeling yourself a little bit.
yeah,
And maybe I am, and I just don't want to put a void to it. I don't know, because I always say, oh, I'm close sensitive because you see things, and then totally block out that I see things as well,
mm,
and and it was like, and I know I do it, and it was like it sort of slapped me in the face with it, if you will, and I was like, yeah, well, whatever, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't. How's a good way to put it? I don't feel psychic. I just see things. I just, but I think for me, they want me to see them. So then that's not my fault, really, is it? That's not something that I'm doing. That's something that they're doing.
yeah. I think everybody in their own right are sensitive to a certain degree. It's just that some people are just more sensitive than others. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and do you know what I think it is? I think I've, especially in this house, and I've always said to you this about my dad's house. It was oily. Even now, I've not been for years, obviously, but even the last time I went to my dad's, it feels like, for me, and this is the thing, it doesn't feel like it's for other people, but when I walk into my dad's house, I feel like I'm getting covered with oil and being weighed down. My
Mm,
oil, my body it feels like I'm covered, and I'm wading through. And how do you explain that to somebody else? Because they're just going to think you're sounding crazy. What am I going to do? Turn around to kids and say, "So, do you feel like you're being covered with oil and wading through water?" you know, how do
well,
you approach that?
again, I just think people are more sensitive than others, and things manifest to them in different ways, in the way things feel or the way things are presented to people. you know, sometimes not necessarily everybody believes in the same thing. When we experience things in the paranormal, like I've always said to you, that experience is personal, and it's how it feels and seems, and how you understand it to be. You know, that's all down to you and what your perceptions are of it. Everybody, you know, sees and feels things in a different way. You know, whether like you get the feeling of like an oily feeling,
Yeah.
somebody else might get a feeling of like lightheadedness or disorientation or things like that. The more they approach like a property or something, you know,
It
where
feels
said spirit is supposed to be.
it feels bad, and
Mm,
this is why when with the spirits that are in this house, or the spirits that I believe are in this house, I don't have any problem with it because it doesn't feel bad. My house doesn't feel bad to me, and I know what feels bad because I felt it at my dad's. Do you understand what I mean? I know the
yeah,
difference feeling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Doesn't feel bad to me. So if my negative reaction to something feeling evil or bad is that feeling, I don't get that in this house.
No,
You know, I feel my house just feels normal, like anybody else's house. I just have things that like come into my room and walk up the stairs, and you know, things like that. The strangest thing, and I actually put it in Steve's chat today, Steve O's chat, when I was in there earlier. The strangest and probably most disturbing thing, the most disturbing to me anyway, thing that's ever happened to me, and it's actually not scary. It's just disturbing to me in my
mm,
personal space. Was I was in our Dennis's, and I'd seen this spirit a few times in our Dennis's house. Um, kind of 60-year-old guy, suit, wore like a trilby, you know, maybe a 1930s, 40s era kind of suit and hat, you know, brown, the suit were. Um, and I'd seen him quite a few times around our Dennis's house. Our Dennis has seen him there as well. Um, yeah, it's an oppressive feeling at my dad's. Um, and I'd seen him quite a few times, always on the landing, always walking through to next door's house, who also sees this fella. He literally wants to be seen, this man. Um, I thought maybe he was stone tape, a residual energy. He every time I'd seen him, it was on the landing, and he was walking through to next doors. So I thought he was residual, you know. And I'm sat on the loo this day, and our Dennis has got a separate toilet to his bathroom, and we're quite opening off. I'd left the door. I'd gone for a pee and I'd left the door open. Let's just be honest, that's what I'd done, right?
mm.
Well, you know, we're not great for shutting doors and locks in our house or
Was
in
that
our
you?
Dennis.
Hang on, Max. Was that you that knocked then?
Did I knock?
I heard like a knocking noise, like a.
Did I put my cup down?
I don't know. Do it again. Oh, it may have been that.
I think I might have put my cup down.
Was that in the last like minute?
I'm not sure now.
No, just really strange.
I'll look back, and I would be honest about it anyway. So you know
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Um,
It could have been the cup. It just sounded like two
my
sharper
cup
taps in
sounded
there.
quite loud. That's my cup.
No, it wasn't
So,
that. It was like it was definitely like
alright.
two sharp taps.
I'll ask out, then I'll finish the story. Is there any spirits here who'd like to communicate? Could you knock? Maybe, please. I'd be grateful. If that was you who were knocked.
Yeah, maybe the cup.
I do actually think it might have been me putting my cup down, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
it
So,
probably was. I just heard it. That was all. I didn't realise that you'd actually even been drinking from a cup or had one in your hand or anything. That was all.
Yeah, but I just heard a knocking then. Did you not hear that?
No.
I'm going to ask out again because and I know it's not because my hands are here. I know I didn't have a cup then. All right, well, I lost that properly. Spirits, if there's any here who'd like to communicate, could you not, please? Could you make it clear and loud?
Did you knock then? Because I heard like another like duff duff.
I heard it. No,
noise.
I heard a knocking. I'm not knocking. I heard a knocking. Did you hear that?
I heard that noise then. Yeah.
I'm not moving. I'm literally not
Okay.
moving.
I think Dave answered that thing there. He said he just went back and Mags leans over and moves the cup. So it probably was the cup like we agreed on.
Yeah, but the second one wasn't the cup.
But I definitely heard like that shuffle then, like that shuff noise.
Yeah, I heard it then. That wasn't the cup. I think the first one was the cup, but when I've asked out, I don't think that's the cup.
Yeah.
It's showing up a lot, guys.
Yeah. Try that again then, Mags. Do that again. See if you get another reaction.
All right. Hang on. Oh, I can't get it to the stairs. Can you see up the stairs there?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Watch there when I'm asking, because I just seen a shadow come down the stairs. It's a fella. Do you know, I never ask out. This is, you know what do I say, Glenn? I don't ask out in my house because of all the activity I get.
Yeah. Okay,
And
Stranger Times. You take care. Thank you for being here.
All right, Steve. Don't forget to get in contact with Dave. He'll give you my dates and we'll do a live, love. All right, keep watching the stairs. I just seen a shadow come down it. Is there any spirits here? I know it's a bloke. I don't know his name. If the gentleman who just come down the stairs, and the reason I know what he looks like. Could you either show yourself or make a noise, please? Could you try really hard? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything now or hearing anything
No.
at all.
It'd be worth going back over that anyway.
Yeah, you see, this is I don't investigate my house, and how many times I've said this to you a lot, haven't I? Because I kind of live here, and I don't, even if it's not true, I don't want to amp up the activity that's here by calling other things into the area. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I have to live here.
Yeah, Dave.
Right.
There definitely was a shuffle sound. I did hear that.
And this is the thing.
I
I'm
heard
coming
that as well.
downstairs.
What
I
was
did.
that
I said
noise then?
it's that was me. That's my chair. That might have been. I seen him coming down the stairs, and the thing is, he is a stair walker. He is a stair walker. He likes to walk the stairs, but there were never stairs here. There's never been stairs. There might have actually been stairs in the church that was here, but they weren't in this position that mine are. You know, so.
Yeah, do you remember that time when I did that video? It wasn't that long ago, actually. On, I think it may have been on. I don't know if I loaded it up on my channel or on Riley's channel, where Riley was talking, and then there was like that shadow outside the door in the hallway, and I was making it like light of it, like a joke of it. Well, I actually looked at that again the other day, you know, and whatever that shadow was, like it was definitely wasn't like his daughter or anybody else, and it was definitely like moving to like kind of like towards him. So I was looking at the banister sticks, and whatever that was, it was definitely like a shadow that was recorded.
Yeah, well, this fella who likes to show himself he is quite solid black. I mean, I think a lot of people would like to say he's a shadow figure or a shadow man, but he's not evil to me. And most people portray these as evil, but he's not. He doesn't do any harm. He just likes to walk the freaking stairs and annoy the shit out of me. He sometimes stands at the side of the bed and talks, and it's like, and I'll wake up and I'll be like, right, piss off. And, and he'll go. But anyway, let me go back to this story because maybe my spirits were getting a bit jealous because I've met another spirit at my brother's house. I don't know. Maybe that's what was annoying him. So I'm at my brother's and I'd gone to the loo and I'd left the door open. Now I always thought this spirit was stone tape. It was never. Every time I'd seen him, he was doing the same routine, walking across the landing. I mean, I'd stayed there. I'd walked out of the guest bedroom door, and I'd see him walking across, and Dennis had seen him, and it was kind of the same routine. So to me, think he was a residual, or a stone tape theory kind of thing, was quite logical. Anyway, I'm sat there on the toilet. And you know how you are it's actually good to pee in our Dennis's house because he has two big frames on the wall, all filled with like pictures, So like there's pictures of everything from being childhood, family, going to the pub, there's like two big. So it's actually not a bad pee in our Dennis's house because you can look at the pictures. So and I'm sat there and I'm just like, looking at the pictures, and I seen him walk across. So I flipped my head round because I'd caught him side eye, and I flipped my head round, and I seen him enter frame, if you will, and then he stopped, turned around, and looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I went, "Hey, I'm on the toilet," and then he just turned his head around and carried on walking through the wall to next door. When it was like. When I say that's my most disturbing moment seeing a ghost, that was my most disturbing moment seeing a ghost. Watching me pee. I have no doubt whatsoever. I have no doubt whatsoever that they're there when we shower, they're there when we go to the loo. We just don't always see them, which is fine. I can cope with them watching me shower or watching me pee in bath or what have you, getting dressed, if I'm not seeing them,
Yeah,
But when you actually turn around and look at you while you're peeing, that's a bit much. I just go upstairs. He went, "Who are you talking to?" I went, "That bloody fella." He went, "What fella?" He said, "This is how easy we take it." I went, "That bloody ghost." He went, "One with suit and hat." I went, "Yeah." He went, "What did you do?" I said, "He was watching me pee." He said, "Did he go into next door?" I went, "After he watched me pee." I said, I said, "You sort of like skirting over there watching me pee." Right, shuffle seems to be nearer to the mic. So, right, the cats are around, so it could have been that, although I didn't see them moving at the time, but I don't often see them moving, so, they're quite stealth.
Didn't sound like a cat sound.
Well, I could have moved my feet and gone. I'm moving my feet here. Can you hear that? Did it sound like that?
Could have been a little bit, but you'd have to compare the two. It was just, it's just difficult to say.
What about if I've caught? I was consciously not moving for a lot of it, and I was sitting still, as you said. But what about that? That's me hitting the side of. But
No.
I'm literally.
No, it wasn't that.
I'm literally consciously kicking the side of my desk there. That's me kicking the side of my desk. Did I catch it? They might have caught the side of my desk,
Yeah, it could quite possibly be. I can't be sure. It just seemed at that time. It just seemed strange. That was all.
Right. If I ever watch it, I know he watches me in bed. He wakes me up, frigging moaning and groaning. I'll tell you what's most disturbing though is the woman in the wedding dress, and she always appears in a wedding dress. Always appears in a wedding dress, and that's disturbing because
You're not doing any research on that, you know, any weddings that are
I
taken.
did, but it's very hard because the church that was here was demolished. So it's not like you can go to the church and look through the records if somebody was buried in a wedding. Do you know what I mean, or anything like that? And I wouldn't know where to get the records from.
I would imagine it'd be under birth, deaths, and marriages.
But it's an era, isn't it? I mean, I can turn around and say it looks Edwardian because the dress looked Edwardian.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty big, long span to try and look through records of
But
somebody.
that's what you have to do when you're researching.
Yeah. But I'll tell you why it freaks me out because
It all depends how much curiosity you've got about it. You know, whether you're just an acceptance that it's happening and it's there and occurring.
I kind of do, and
Yeah.
I don't want to investigate my house and this is why I keep saying this because I don't want activity. I don't want them thinking, "Hey, yeah, she's open for season," like you know.
No, I do think that you should definitely like set a camera up. You're not investigating anything. You're just setting a camera up, into an area where you like, see things quite often. It's just a matter of just setting a camera up and just sitting back and watching. You're not trying to prove anything to anybody or show anybody anything. It's just a visible aspect of just seeing if like anything can be picked up. That's all. You're not calling out for spirits or trying to antagonize them in any way or address them. You're just firing a camera into an area that you've seen stuff. That's all.
Okay, no, they heard knocking while I was talking, so that's what we was trying to recreate. I don't know. I did hear it. I don't know where it came from. It sounded. You see, that's the thing, isn't it? It sounds like it comes from around you sometimes when you hear things. It sounds like it's a surround sound kind of thing. But yeah. It is crazy. But the wedding dress freaks me out. Is because did she die in a wedding day, or was she died not long after and buried in a wedding dress, and that's why she appears in a wedding dress, and that's what freaks me out about it because I think it's my empathy for her situation of why she's in a wedding dress. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could just Google, bride dies on wedding day or whatever. It's just a quick search just to see if anything comes up like that.
I've done that in Preston, and I've gone through. I went through this 1700s, although it's not a 1700 dress. It is more Edwardian, 1800s, early 1900s, and I couldn't see anything.
Right.
I couldn't see anything. But that's just a general news search. Do you know like things that would just generally come up? So the best thing would be the church records. Now I'm assuming they haven't demolished the church records, because why would they? They would probably store them somewhere, wouldn't they? But I wouldn't know where they would store them. And that's the thing. But yeah, it is. It's crazy. My house is just.
I think for stuff like that, Mags, your library's probably your best bet.
Well, I can't really go, can I?
Well, no, not with the coup thing happening like that.
No, I can't go.
Well, no. Well, you can get. Well, a lot of libraries nowadays are actually online, like so.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it to see where the Harris Library is.
Yeah.
It probably will be. I mean, it's massive. It's a museum and a library. So, well, you've seen the Harris building. I've showed it. Yeah, it's massive. It's a big place.
You never know. You never know what you might turn up.
But it is really interesting that she was in a wedding dress. I can't make out anything on the bloke. I can make out it's a bloke, but it might not be. I assume he's a man actually, because he's very solid and black. So I'm assuming he's a man. It's not even misty. He's black. It's just a black figure.
Do you think it's intelligent or residual?
No, he's intelligent. He stands at the side of my freaking bed and nags at me.
Oh.
I'm actually, but it's weird because I don't know what he's saying, although I know he's talking, but I can't make out words. It's gobbledygook. And I know he's intelligent because he used to wake our Chloe up all the time. Chloe was tormented by this shadow figure, if you will. He tormented her, but I don't think he tormented her because he was wanting to hurt her or upset her. I think he knew she could communicate with him better than I could, you know, and I think that's what it were. I think he were always trying to talk to her to get to be heard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
see, I lived in an house.
Looking out the window, right? He'd stand in front of the window. When she had the room that I'm in now, he'd always like wake up and he'd be in, you know, he'd be talking everything, but he'd be stood in front of the window. Now he can't stand in front of the window now because my bed's there, right? If he did, he'd manifest in my bed, you know. But when I see him, when he comes in the room now, he's at the side of the bed.
Right.
So that has to show intelligence to a degree, I would think.
Yeah.
You know, because he's changed positions to where he did stand when it was Chloe in there, when her bed was in a different position.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean, don't you? This is my cup going down, so don't worry, but it's not.
No, listening to that back knock, it did sound slightly different to that.
Right.
It was much more of a sharp tap tap.
Right. Okay.
Or
I'll listen.
Say
Anyway,
knock. It was definitely like a knock knock.
Yeah. Well, I will listen to that. Going back.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Tony. I was just about to say we're finished now, Tony. You're coming late, my friend. How are you? Before I go, I hope you're all right. I haven't seen you around for a while. I've just not been doing many lives or anything, but me and Glenn just decided to do one the other day, didn't we, love? So
we did. Well, you decided. I was told off and told to come on.
Yeah, I asked. Don't play the browbeating friend. It's not washing, my darling. It's just not washing.
See all that bullying she does to me in people's chats? There you go.
Oh, because you don't give it me back?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, because you just sit there and, you know, cry me a river.
Always innocent, governor.
I mean, you think, Gov, it weren't me. It were her.
Wasn't me, my lord. Always innocent, governor. It's nothing to do with me. I wasn't even there.
I'm okay. I'm doing better than I have been as of late, but I'm doing okay. We're all surviving in this crazy time, aren't we?
Case of having to.
Did I tell you a friend of mine died of COVID a couple of days ago?
Yeah, Zara's just had a death in her family down to COVID as well.
It was actually the neighbour of where I lived before I lived here, and I'd lived there like 11 years or something, and you know, I actually still talk to his ex-wife. She's still a friend of mine, but he was my friend as well, and yeah, died of COVID. He was a couple of years older than me.
Did he have comorbidities then? Was he suffering from other stuff?
I hadn't spoken to him for a while, but no, he actually suffered with alopecia. So his immune system were, you know, he obviously had some immune issues with having alopecia, but he wasn't in ill health per se, but he'd always suffered with, like, because it comes under autoimmune, doesn't it, alopecia, I think?
Yeah.
I'm not certain. So yeah, he would have had some kind of.
Into an autoimmune disease, alopecia.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. I don't really know that much about it, to be honest. So I don't know, but there has to be something that causes it. I don't know what it could be, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, and then my cousin said, I spoke to my cousin today, and she said she went, my neighbour's just died of COVID, and I was like thinking, God, Preston's right for the minute. He's like, Jesus Christ. I am so glad I'm world champion at social distancing and
Well, being agoraphobic, you've got an head start on everybody.
I'm world champion. I'm good.
Hi there, Tona.
Right, let's wrap this up. Thanks everybody for popping in tonight. We've had, we think we may have heard some responses in my short sweeps that we did.
Well, we definitely got Yesu. That's 100% positive one there. Unusual word as well. Yeah, unusual word as well. Would be in the name of a radio.
Yes, which will be really cool if that is there when I go over it. But I mean, you can go over it as well. This is the thing, isn't it? And this is like what I was saying to Dave the other day. I get quite anal because I'm doing a session that Dave did, and I get quite anal with when I do it because I'll listen to it on different players, different devices. I've got 2 pair of headphones, so I use different headphones, and I tend to only annotate what I hear on all of the things that I listen to things through. So it kind of takes me a while to annotate because I like to listen to it on various things, So, but yeah, but other people can hear other things as well. I mean, this is that audio thing, isn't it? What's it called? Apathy with the audio pareidolia and things like that as well. So,
I've still yet to go over that EVP one we did when they definitely said my name really clear in the bathroom when I was running the water.
I think that EVP did say Glenn.
Yeah.
I do.
That was absolutely fantastic. That stream was. We should do.
It was really good. It was a really good one, and everybody were hearing it in chat as well, which was really cool. Yeah. Considering we were asking for EVPs, it was absolutely phenomenal what were happening on it. So if you want to go, actually, what the session we're talking about is actually in my live streams. It's just a session me and Glenn did. It'll probably say chat and look. I think it's called. Is it called looking for EVPs? Or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's called something like that. And we're not using a spirit box. We're actually actively trying to get the spirits to talk. So yeah, that's really cool. And we did get them to do it. Well, we think we did. So anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you very much. Thanks again for putting that in. I really do appreciate it. It's been great, and I've actually enjoyed doing that little experiment because it's something a bit different.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So take care, everybody. Thank you very much for joining myself and Glenn, and I'll see you soon. Do you want to say goodbye?
Thank you very much for being here, guys, and supporting Mags, and everybody stay safe out there. And it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for all your input in the chat, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, what's left of it.
Yeah. Work tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.